Hello YouTube, it's me John Avenger once again, and welcome to another um, Horropalooza review. This is number 9, so we're caught up to the days. Now it's October 9th, and I promise you this is not a vampire film. It's a 1999 remake, one of the few decent remakes that have come out in a very long time, and it is the last remake of this movie, because surprisingly this didn't get a remake in the 2000s or the 2010s. House on Haunted Hill. This is the remake in color, I think, because the original was black and white. And this was from 1999, and this is not so bad yet. This is a PS3 box or a Blu-ray box, right here. But I do enjoy this film for what it is. For the as far as remakes go, it does something different from the original. You know, it has an interracial cast that wasn't in the original. Also, it definitely has a bigger budget than the original. William Malone directed this, and the film looks really good. There is some shoddy CGI. That's probably one of the bad things in the film, especially at the end. But this cast is pretty damn good. You got Jeffrey Rush. He plays Vincent Price's character from the original, and he does one of the most spot on impressions of Vincent Price I've ever seen. Well, you got Taye Diggs. I like Taye Diggs. He's a good actor. You got Ali Lauder, who I've always liked. She was in the Final Destination 1 and 2, and some of the Resident Evil movies, and Obsessed. You have Bridget Wilson. This is before she retired as an actress. She was from Billy Madison, from Mortal Kombat. Peter Gallagher is a good actor as well. You got Chris Kattan, a funny guy. He's in a supporting role. The one I don't really care for in this cast is Famke Janssen, but she's so forgettable. She's not even in the front cover. She's Jean Grey from the first 3 X-Men movies, but after X3, I just have not cared about her since. So just her face is falling off. She's aged very badly, and she hasn't done a good movie since Taken, and that I like because of Liam Neeson. But as a remake, it's actually pretty good. I still think the original is better. It's definitely scarier. It's got more atmosphere. There's things that you see that are not. And if my friend Sean disagrees with me, the original Haunted House, House on Haunted Hill is scary. It's one of the scariest movies of all time. Look at any list of any horror movies that are made in the U.S. of the top 100 scariest movies, and the original is there. So that's squatches that argument in case he's like, no, it's not scary. This one's not scary, but it is decent for what it is. Because I think it has fun. It's not a remake that's pretentious. It's a remake that does things differently from the original, so you're not watching the same movie. It's not like a remake of Psycho that is just a rehash of the original, but in color, and it doesn't have the wizardry of what's his name, Hitchcock. Now this, yeah, like I said, it has a decent cast, minus Famke Janssen, because I'm not a fan of her anymore. They're like, oh, she's a hot chick. She's Dutch. She's not American. I don't care what you pass her off as. She's Dutch. But Jeffrey Rush, Australian, really good actor. He has a big nose, but, if you've seen the Pirates of the Caribbean films, he's in most of those. I think it's in all of them. He's Barbossa. I haven't seen those yet. I want to see him eventually, but basically the premise is just like the original. This guy invites a bunch of people to his home to have this out of the world experience, and one by one they get haunted by ghosts and creatures of the night. And it's a remake that got overlooked. I mean, it's not considered the worst remake of all time, but it kind of got under the radar after all these crappy remakes have come out, like The Ring. Well, there was The Ring and The Grudge, and there was freaking Pulse and Nightmare on Elm Street, and a bunch of other stuff. You know, a lot of horror remakes that have come out recently in like 20 years. Some of them are just forgettable, but this one I actually do enjoy. I think the film, you know, it's fine on its own. You don't have to compare it to the original. It was done 40 years later. There were going to be some changes, especially with the budget. But it's a nice companion piece. It doesn't have a downbeat ending like a lot of films. Like The Haunting, I like the original Haunting, but I hate the ending. This I like because it doesn't have to have that stupid cliche of, oh, everybody dies at the end. No. Doesn't happen here. It's a well shot movie. It's decently paced. It's not too long. I believe it's like an hour and something minutes. It doesn't say here because the artwork is not the box one that I got it in was damaged, so I just leave the artwork like that. But if you haven't seen House on Haunted Hill and you have seen the original, I would say I would recommend this one. I have not seen the sequel to this because I heard it was crappy. Return to House on Haunted Hill. This does not need a sequel. I'm sorry. A haunted house film only works once. That's why The Haunting never had a sequel. You know, Poltergeist did. It had one good sequel, and the third one, while it's flawed, I think it's okay. But this is the good one after the original. You can watch this with the original, and it doesn't tarnish the original. It does its own thing. It's got a decent enough cast, very well shot, some decent performances, and it's not a really slow burn. Like the original was really good, but there are some slow spots where nothing happens, and it doesn't get scary until things start to happen, and then you start seeing imagery that scares you. Like that old lady in the wall, that still gets me. I don't care what anyone says, that is still scary. That still gives me chills. But it's a good horror film for Halloween. Pop this in with your friends, have some chips and, you know, and some soda, blast it on high, and then they'll probably jump, you know, from the jump scares. But it is what it is, and I do like the film. And it's definitely worth your time. I would recommend it and the original. Because, you know, they both are pretty solid films. And screw their sequel. I'm probably going to see it once, but I'm not going to own it. This is where it's at. And if you haven't watched it, do yourself a service and watch this, and don't watch Ouija 2. Because that's a piece of garbage. I already know it because the first Ouija sucked. So, thanks guys for watching, liking, subscribing. You guys are awesome. I'm eating some chips, some bite-sized tortilla chips. Excuse me. I wanted to keep up with these reviews. I don't want to just review 10 movies and then leave you guys flat. Because you guys know that I do these videos for you, because it's hard to have a YouTube account and juggle everything else in your life. Work and school and household chores and your family and your pets and etc. etc. You know how it is. It's life. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. Keep liking, subscribing, commenting. You guys are awesome for that. And I will see you in the next review. Later.